You know, some seasons don't ask for your permission. They arrive and rearrange you. Love, loss, grief, they don't knock. They don't explain themselves. They step into your life and start moving shit around. Suddenly, things that used to comfort you can't hold the same weight anymore. This isn't pain that screams. It's quieter than that. It hums beneath the surface of your days. It shows up in your pauses, in your tone, and it also shows up in the way your spirit listens before it speaks. And somehow, even here, especially here, God still leaves glimmers, not to fix you, not to rush you, but to remind you that what's breaking you is also shaping you. This isn't about healing fast. It's about measuring honestly. Because some truths don't need motivation, they need calibration. This is the prescription. And today, we step onto the scale. This is Triple Beam. Start the show. Welcome back to the show. You know, I've been juggling with this concept for a cool minute, and I've been trying to find ways to present it. And I thought about balance, right? I thought about the things that I've been through in life and the things that I've seen my peers go through, and sometimes what we conversate about, but and it seems like we're all trying to find the balance. And for the most part, I think a large part of life is trying to find that balance, the balance of time, the balance of money, the balance of resources, just, a lot of the tangible things. But what about what's not tangible though? Things like time, things like love, loss, and grief. And I was thinking about, like, how can I explain what these things are or what they mean to me and how they've affected me? How can I put this out in a way that'll captivate, calibrate someone who is going through something that they don't really quite understand, and they need a direction to go. So it brought me to the concept of a triple beam, right? So this is what this is called, a triple beam. And it's going to be, I think, maybe a 4 or 5 part series of things that, in my opinion, need to be balanced or are difficult finding the balance of. You understand what I'm saying? So today, we're going to talk about 3 things Three things are going to be on the scale. We stepping on the scale today. All right. Three things that we're going to put on the scale along with us are love, loss, and grief. These three things, in my opinion, have shaped it, not shaped it, but has shifted and shaped a large part of my life, a large part of my existence. Right? Love, loss, and grief. These are three things that I think fly up under the radar. And many people are substituting and trying to find different ways to find an escape from balancing love, loss, and grief out. It just depends on how you handle those three things. So without further ado, the first thing we're going to put on the scale, on the first beam, is love. Now, love never arrives heavy, but that's how it gets inside. And it introduces itself as warmth, as safety, as a place where your nervous system finally exhales. Like, oh man, I done found something that love distributes its weight so well that you don't feel it building. Now, suddenly your future isn't singular anymore. Your decisions cast shadows and your heart starts factoring in something beyond itself. Love asks you to believe before you know, to invest without proof, to attach meaning where guarantees don't exist. That's why love is powerful. Not because it lasts, but because it risks, and all the risks that are involved with love. It opens you. It makes you permeable, prepares you for what's coming without warning that it might hurt you. Now, on the scale, love looks light, but it's heavy though. All right. See what I did there? I tried to. Okay. Anyway, on the scale, love looks light, but it changes the balance of everything that follows. All right. So set love on a scale. Just imagine, hold both your hands out, or hold one of your hands out, like you're asking for some hot Cheetos in the fourth grade with a piece of paper. You're like, hey, throw me some hot Cheetos on a little piece of paper. Just hold your hand out like that, like you asking, or you're serving something. Once you set love on a scale, you might want to close your eyes. Trying to build a, you know, picture for you, right? Um, Once you set love on a scale, nothing crashes, no resistance, just a quiet shift. Now, watch the needle and it moves. Because love isn't light, it's embedded. Its weight hides in expectation, in attachment, in futures you started imagining without realizing what you're really in. Love recenters your life around something outside yourself. And once it's on the scale, everything must respond to it. The scale remembers love even when love is gone. All right. The scale remembers love even when love is gone. After the love is gone. Come on now. Y'all know the song. Come on. Don't start me singing Earth, Wind, and Fire around this motherfucker. We will do that. You understand what I'm saying? But the scale remembers love even when love is gone. Now let that sit. All right. Let that sit. You put it on the scale. All right. Now we're going to move on to the second beam. Loss. Now, loss, loss doesn't get placed. It drops. It's heavy like a shit ton of bricks. No ceremony, no warning, just gravity. What was balanced isn't anymore. Loss isn't the opposite of love, it's the invoice of love. See, loss collects on every future love lets you imagine. Every version of yourself that depended on something staying. And here's the quiet cruelty. Loss doesn't remove love, it magnifies it. You don't grieve what didn't matter, you grieve what reshaped you. The scale groans now, not because it's broken, but simply because it's honest. You understand? Love teaches you patience, but loss teaches you what love weighed all along. Love teaches you patience, but loss teaches you what love weighed all along. Third being grief. Now we got love on one side. All right. As you can see, the visual, this is what I want you to envision in your mind. We got love on one side. All right. That's the roses over there. We got loss on one side. That's that heavy ass rock on the other side. Now, we got to set something in the middle of that. This third beam is grief. See, grief doesn't fall, it stays. It steps onto the scale slowly, not to add weight, but to interpret it. See, loss is an event, grief is a climate. It settles into your timing, your body, your silences. Grief isn't something to finish, it's something to carry. You'll never get rid of grief, ever. If anybody tells you, oh man, you'll get over, you won't. Take that from me personally. Everybody that I loved that is not here on earth anymore, I carry that with me every day. Every single day, in some part of my day, I'm reminded of the people that I lost. You won't never get over this shit. You'll learn how to deal with it. You'll learn how to cope with it. You'll learn how to tolerate it. But you'll never get over it. I lost one of my brothers, Daryl, at an early age, probably around 8. Never got over that. Losing friends as I'm growing up. Never gotten over that. I'm in college, losing one of my mother's good friends, Aunt Janet. Never getting over that. Shortly after, a year or so later, losing my mother. Definitely never getting over that. A few years later. losing my grandmother. Never getting over that shit. Not too long ago, losing another pivotal like person in my life, my uncle Leon. Shout out to my cousin Nikki. Shout out to my cousin Nikki, man. Rest in peace, Uncle Leon. Never getting over that. We gotta carry that shit. You have to settle with the fact that, you know what, I'm never getting over this shit. Side note, before I carry on with this one, right? I can remember the time around I lost my mother. She passed away on her birthday on February the 10th, 2012. She was born on February the 10th, 1957. 55 years old. Born and passed away on the same day. Complete circle of life. Did all the shit, you know, went through the wake, funeral, all that shit. Got back to school. It was midterm week. Got back to Langston University. It was midterm week, right? I can remember sitting there and it all felt like a daze. And I lost complete, I just lost where I was. And I can remember the harsh reality. I was walking from the Commons all the way to the athletic building for some classes, some shit, somebody to fucking do. And I remember stopping. There's a point in the yard at Langston where everything meets in the middle. All the trails kind of meet right there, like all the concrete paths kind of meet in this spot. And I can remember standing right there. Don't know why I stopped. And looking around in every direction. People probably thought, this nigga crazy. You feel what I'm saying? But fuck all that. And the harsh reality was life goes on. Life goes on. And you got to figure out how to go on with it. We all have to figure out how to go on with it at some point off in our lives. And that's why I say grief isn't something to finish, but it's something to carry. It strips away your performance. You stop pretending that you're unaffected. And you stop explaining yourself to people who want you back. That was the hardest thing to explain to some of my friends that ain't seen me in a long time. Even the woman that I was with. She didn't understand at that moment. I didn't understand at that fucking moment. My pops didn't understand. Nobody that loved my mother didn't understand. My brother Sean didn't understand. We didn't fucking understand. We were questioning everything, including God. It's a fucked up moment. God damn, God, like I'm losing people that do everything that you want them to do. Stand up human beings, honorable people, not hurting nobody, taking care of their business, doing what they're supposed to be doing. But they're gone. They're gone. Wow, we got people over here. These niggas telling on everybody, harming people, taking from people, misleading people, misguiding people, and they still living. I'm not gonna lie to you, fam. Like I still struggle with that from time to time. I still do. From time to time, I still struggle with that. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a trip. It's just a prescription. It's giving you what you need. But having to explain to people that, you know, remember a different you, that you ain't the same motherfucker. You ain't the same guy. I'm not the same nigga that you knew that grew up in South Dallas. Nigga, it's different. I'm not the same nigga that was just. I'm not that same nigga. Certain things are not even important to me anymore. That grief, if you're not careful, will put you on the brink of life. I always say, I know how I feel to stand at the edge of the cliff with my toes dangling off that bitch. I can wiggle my toes off this bitch. I knew what it took to back up off that bitch and be like, nah, we can't go out like this, nigga. We got shit to do. I know that feeling. You also carry the grief of losing the old you. Sometimes I miss the old me. But at the same time, I realize that the old me couldn't accomplish what I've accomplished and couldn't fight through what I had to fight through. I had to lose to gain. That's just the way this life works sometimes. This is leaving, but I'm giving you this. I'm giving you this. This is leaving, but I'm giving you this. That shit hurt, man. And there's no way around it. It's no way around having to explain to someone that you love the old me is gone. You got to find ways to explain that. It's difficult. And sometimes they don't understand. Like, hold up, give me a like, give me a chance to understand what the fuck going on right now with my mind. Before I can even explain to you what the fuck is happening to me, I gotta explain it myself. Like, I gotta understand what the fuck is this. I gotta deal with that. Allow me to have the space. Some people don't understand that, and that causes rifts. And not everybody is made to go through grief with somebody. They don't even understand. But if they love you, like I said before, love teaches you patience. That's when you find out how much somebody really, really loves you. It's when something like that happens. See, it's all fun when everything's all peachy keen, you know. But goddamn, what happens when something goes on in your life and that person doesn't understand you? I mean, not understands, but a person doesn't quite understand what you're feeling, but they're willing to have the patience because they love you, to give you space, let you figure this shit out, help you figure this shit out, finding out what you need, giving you the space that you need to breathe and think. That's what real love is. It's not a fucking fairy tale, as society would want you to think. It's a lot more than that. Fuck the days where we're good. I need you to be there for me in the days where shit ain't good. If I allow you in my life and tell you who I am and tell you what I'm going through, would you use that against me? And going right. Grief will teach you that. Love will teach you that. Life will teach you that. Loss will teach you that. But you stop explaining yourself to people that want you back, because there is no back. Grief doesn't mean that you're broken. It means that you were bonded. And in that bond, in that ache that refuses to disappear, God whispers, not closure, not relief, but presence. Grief teaches you how to live with what remains. Grief teaches you how to live with what remains. Now, close your eyes again and look at your scale. Matter of fact, open your eyes because I have this graphic on the screen. This is the scale right here. You got love on one side, and we put that on first. Right? We got loss on one side, and that dropped like a shit ton of bricks on us second. Damn near knock love off the motherfucking side of the scale. Then right there in the middle, we put grief. In some way, it balanced it all out. Right? Love opened you. Loss humbled you. Grief matured you. Now, none of these items on the beams cancel each other out. They complete the measurement. Comfort wasn't taken to punish you. Comfort was removed to reveal clarity. Sometimes that shit can get a little cloudy when you it get a little cloudy. How ironic it is sometimes when you in love, you don't see some of the red flags that you should see. Not necessarily out of a relationship, but just out of life. That's not a coincidence by any chance. But that comfort wasn't taken to punish you. Like I said, it was removed to reveal clarity. The moment of clarity. The quiet kind, the kind that changes how you move, the kind that changes how you speak, the kind that changes how you create. And that's why the glimmers still show up in the work. Not because the pain left. No, not because the pain left. But because presence replaced avoidance. That's why the glimmers still show up in the work. Not because the pain left, but because presence replaced avoidance. This is the prescription. Not escape, not motivation, but truth. Wade, honestly, this was Triple Beam. This is only one. We got more to go. 3 weights, 1 scale, and no illusions. Now, take a moment. Sit with what moved. Leave what doesn't belong to you. For now, the scale is reset.